Hey, so it has been a few days since the new OpenAI model has came out, and yeah, so lots of new impressions. So let's have a slightly more sober look, I would say. When lots of people tried it, lots of benchmarks came out, some implementation details possibly leaked or people dissected and so on from everything. So yeah, I looked at everything and wrote everything down, most of it down, a lot of it down, and yeah, it's neat, it's interesting what happened, and it's interesting. So yeah, the psychotherapy piece basically. I think I think this is true. Um, um, yeah, so I wrote this down. It's on my website. So in my exobrain, if in artificial intelligence, in a large language model, in O1. Yeah, so here it is. So I guess you can look at it, whatever, and you can look at my website in general. It's to do. I mean, to do. It's in work in progress very much, so it's not finished yet. It's through Obsidian. So yeah yeah. So okay. So let's look at everything that happened and everything new. So yeah, we looked at the last video at the OpenAI and the OpenAI benchmarks and the live benchmark, which was like, yeah, like in coding. It seems like it's interesting because in some of the coding benchmarks, and people are also saying that coding, like some people are saying it's much better at coding, and some people are saying that it's not as good at coding. So yeah, like this guy, for example. I heard this many times. Um, so there's like mixed opinions everywhere from everyone, and yeah. uh, code. Why does it did not search? Yeah. Okay. So people are mixed all over the place, whatever. But some people are happy. So, for example, like if we skip all the benchmarks, if we go like to first like some anecdotal stuff, then yeah, like my feed was like, or still is like full of people that are like either praising it or hating it. It's like confusing, but yeah, like some like I think Terrence Tao is like the top mathematician. I think he's like the best authority on mathematics and AI right now. He posted about it, and he says that yeah, like for example, through a vaguely worded mathematical query, it needs to identify a suitable theorem that previous GPT just hallucinated nonsense. This time around, Cramer theorems was identified, and he said also that the experience seems roughly on par with trying to advise a mediocre but not completely incompetent graduate student. So like, you know, the top mathematician says that like it's on a level of a graduate student that's like not completely incompetent. That's like most people are on this level, I think. So that's kind of interesting, and I wonder how that will like very very much transpose to reality. Yeah, so that's kind of cool. But still, it's like it's not perfect and so on. It's not like perfectly everything and so on. So like it still struggles with so many stuff. People are saying that everywhere and so on. But some people are like still saying the step change. Like Terence says it's a steps change, and so on. So or yeah, like some other examples. For example, yeah, there was like I think I showed this in the last video. Yeah, this guy like it may only takes of iterations. Yeah, I agree with you, Carlos. And yeah, so like some, yeah, this guy also tried it on some math problem. And this guy tried it on fixing Bluetooth protocol, for example. Yeah, I still think for many problems, like using Perplexity, yeah, help me reverse engineer the binary Bluetooth protocol failed, but this correctly understood and decoded apparently. So I think I still think for many things Perplexity is like the gold standard to go to, like if you want to fix something, if you want to code something, and so, and Cursor as well. But like these models, like you can, I think now you can still use in Cursor, which is like a coding environment. You can already use the O1 models. I'm not sure to what extent, to what how they are limited and so on. I haven't tried it yet, but people are tweeting about it, how they are using it and so on. So that makes it much more powerful. Same for Perplexity. That's just basically quote unquote wrap around models and around the models, and amazing web retrieval from wiki and so on. So if you want like up-to-date accurate information, Perplexity is great. And also like if you want math problems, like you can say it here and it will either search to the web and find the proof, and like you can go to the source and so on, which I do often with Perplexity, to like search for proofs this way. That's useful, for example. And or it will use Wolfram Alpha implicitly, which is a basic symbolic engine. I think it has it's neural symbolic. I think like it has some neural stuff there as well, or statistical stuff as well, but it's mostly symbolic, I think. So Wolfram Alpha is great. So it uses that. So Perplexity, I cannot stop recommending. Same thing for like the Cursor. Like those two I use all the time. And so this for coding and this for like asking up-to-date information, also for math and so on. But now like I'm like, oh shit, the O1 model itself is also great. Like, or for example, if I wanna look inside what's inside the model, like look at the latent space of the model, then I won't look at the web, right? But that's like different use cases need different tools and so on. Yeah, so that's like I just diverged, I just noticed a bit. So let's come back. Yeah, so like more math here. Anders Sandberg tried it on some more math. So like finding angle that mimics maximum trajectory health. But for math error reasons was still wrong. But much extending Riemann zeta function, the Riemann hypothesis. So significantly better than O2 than 4O. I wonder if he's compared it with Sonnet instead, since Claude 3.5 Sonnet is like the gold standard for math before O2, like I wish we had access to this model, for this alpha proof model. I think this would be like gold standard, maybe, I don't know, but like we'll see. Not for public, so and also SymbolUp is also another symbolic engine, and there's a bunch of other math tools. It's pretty cool. And so this is math, so more math here. This guy was like, oh shit, what? I'm like mind blown for proving theorems, because he's saying that I think he's a dean of undergraduate education, pet engineers, a mathematician, engineer, educator, and he was like, like when he tried other models, it was like when he was trying to work on a proof, he was cycling between these models, always subtle Buck misplacement, inequality, always the same 3 to 4 proof ideas based on pattern matching, not really satisfied. But and he's saying, I know the theorem is novel, not in training, and true, we have a human generated proof, but I wanted to get an AI generated proof. Let me see if I'm recording. Yes, I am. Very good. So and GPT-4o went minute down the usual stuff and got stuck, then jumped to an extremely clever and elegant new approach. So that's very interesting. And it's still checking it correctly even if it's wrong. I'm not sure if he tweeted about it already. Yeah, but like it seems like there's a step change in this direction, so that's pretty cool. And I wonder if he like posted some more about it. Probably not yet. Yeah, this is another one. I think that's like the next one here. So like this guy was testing LLM if it can compute the fundamental group of the circle and basically got it correctly in one shot. Other LLMs set up the problem correctly but got really sloppy around the proof and have to be nudged a lot. O1 I guess nudges itself. So that's a new like cool stuff. Yeah, like another cool stuff. Yeah. So more math, fixing Bluetooth. Yeah, this is the next one, right? And then there was this guy, who's like saying like, oh my god, the feeling when O1 accomplishes an hour what you could 1 year in your PhD. I think this guy's astrophysics. It was like astrophysics PhD or something like that. Something in physics, and like he needed to code the like he had a code and he's like, yeah, his face is like funny and it compiles and it's work and it's right, and it's probably not even in like the training data because, well, some of it I don't know, but like the train data argument seems to fall down because this is much more optimized code. This is like I think he said that this was like 1000 lines and this was like 200 lines or something like that. Yeah, you can watch the video for details. I might be mistaken, but it's like optimized. So that's kind of interesting, and yeah, and I should watch this. This is like sounds very interesting. Yeah, so this is like another guy like found that he gave 10 months of coding in 5 prompts. Yeah, so like he just gave it the method section, and then that becomes an instruction manual. So that's cool. That's very cool. Very very cool. Yeah, programming. Yeah, George Hotz was like was like also another person saying that it's a step change. He's like, first model that's capable of programming at all, so estimates of IQ, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, oh, that also. That's like, I have it somewhere in benchmark. Some people tested its IQ, and it's like, like, went from like 70 or 80 or 90 of the last models and straight up to 120. So interesting. Yeah, it's I'm very happy that it's much better at coding testing. But this is like interesting because there are so many people saying, to paraphrase, yeah, he also says like George Hotz is like cool, like very advanced low level programmer. Like he's like coding in QDAL, I think, or like some low level AI stuff, doing some hardware stuff in TinyGrid. I don't remember exactly, but like I love him. He's great, and yeah. So this guy is saying mediocre but not completely incompetent software engineer. So that's very interesting. But this is like complicated because on benchmarks on coding, like in the live bench that I showed in the last video, it was like saying, oh no, actually, it's Cloud 3.5 is still better at coding, and people like under this meme, like they are also like under my tweet, like also like saying like, yo, actually, like Cloud 3.5 is still better at coding, and like some benchmarks agree, some don't. Like the Devin benchmark, which is like autonomous software engineering attempt, is like actually wrong. Actually, it's still like at coding, it's still like much better to use Cloud 3.5 Sonnet. So I don't know, but people in Cursor were saying, oh shit, it's also great, I think. So like, yeah, like I'm confused really, and don't know what to think. Maybe for certain tasks it is the case that hopefully my mic isn't like too strong. Well, okay, whatever. So yeah, like also like he was saying like yeah, like that people are saying it's great at coding, it's worse at coding. So maybe in quick code it's better. Maybe it's like Replit versus Cursor or something. Like in for quick, fast like code it's better. But like this guy astrophysics PhD stuff was like much. This was like coded also like at other models could do it. That's like kind of bigger. So like, I don't know, maybe bigger infrastructure stuff somewhere. Maybe in Cursor it will be like completely smashing everything. Maybe in Devin it will be completely smashing everything. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. The full O1 model also isn't here yet, so that might be like completely also new or something. I don't know. GPT-5 or like maybe Claude 3.5 Opus comes out and completely blows everything, or Gemini 2 or something. I don't know. So I don't know. It's like confusing. So this is like confusion here. Yeah, astrophysics, programming, law. This guy was saying that was happy with law. This guy is AI in law person, I think. Yeah. So yeah, he was happy with law. So this guy was happy with medical stuff. This is like some benchmark. This is like not the best benchmark like for saying this. This is like Q&A for I think graduate student or something. I don't know if people say it. Like it's yeah, whatever. This benchmark isn't meant like completely replacing right now instantly, but like is it a step change in this benchmark? But like in general, like that in a few years he's saying consider your career. Yeah, I agree with this. It's like, 4 years ago or something, we have like, I think I have it in here. Yeah, like 4 years ago, the best LLM was GPT-2. What will be in 4 years now? Wow, I have no idea. Yeah, and like now it seems like GPT, this is gonna be the hottest winter, as David Shapiro says, where, yeah, like hottest winter on record. GPT-5 and Gemini 2 and Grok 3 and Claude 3.5 and maybe Llama. Yeah, like in 6 months we might have like full O1, Claude, Gemini 2, Alpha Proof with Alpha Proof and AlphaCo integrated in Gemini 2. That would be insane. Grok 3 probably. If Elon Musk timelines, possibly Llama 4. So that would be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Another happy mathematician here, I think. Yeah. Much better. I spent several months doing math research, it was useful, but quite better reason. O1 is a step change improvement. Another math guy. Yeah. So some benchmarks. Benchmarks are interesting. Like, it dominates so much stuff. Like, LiveBench, we look at the previous video, where it like, or like the original OpenAI benchmarks are like, yeah, like completely crushing coding competition, math competition, and PhD level questions completely crashing under the OpenAI original benchmark. But of course, they will show those. Let's like the primary ones. Yeah, I guess I can still show it. Then like significantly stronger like competition math. Yeah, I don't know if I showed it in here or somewhere. Maybe the second tweet. No. Yeah, this is the strawberry. Yeah, I think in here I did. Yeah, here's the like benchmarks. Yeah, that I showed in the last video. So of course, OpenAI will show this. LiveBench seems like coding is confusing. I have no idea how to think about it. But seems to crash on reasoning, on mathematics and data analysis and language tasks. Then we have like IQ. So some people like gave it IQ tests. Is he showing everyone here? Yeah, this is the one. Like Mensa IQ test. Like, wow, bro, what is this? Is this showing that IQ tests are broken, or that this model will get like exploded, or that it's like, I don't know. Is it like retrieving the reasoning chunks instead of retrieving like non-reasoning? Like, is it, are we going from retrieving answers to retrieving reasoning chunks? Maybe. What will be the next step? From friends, retrieving from first principles? I think I wrote it in here. Yeah, I will still go through some of the other benchmarks. Yeah, so this is IQ, and this is like some other IQ test apparently. I don't know. This sounds more accurate to me, I think. This vision is like here. That's weird. Yeah, this tracks more to me. Yeah, I explained, haven't done benchmarks yet, but I really recommend this video. Very cool deep dive, very good dissection of everything. This guy is great. He will test it on his simple bench, which is, you can see like how much there's a gap between humans and between the models. So I will wonder how that will came out. That's gonna happen in a month, he said, or something, because you know it costs money to do it through API and so on. Yeah, I'm not sure if some other stuff. Yeah, he talks like about the possible architecture and so on. Yeah, so yeah, so this is some other one benchmark. I don't remember. Yeah, this guy is summarizing it. Great summary, I think. Aiden Bench, which is another private benchmark, and he's like, it's a good velociter. Where is... Here's Cloud 3.5 Sonnet. Okay, what is this benchmark then? I don't know the exact details of this benchmark. Yeah. So that's another one. Then there's Olympic reasoning benchmark. That goes hard. O1 preview like crashes everything. Fascinating. Then there's this. What was this? Yeah, privately held benchmark surpasses 30% increase. Some other benchmark. Yeah, this guy is saying we need a better benchmark, so I agree with that. Yeah, like another step change on MMLU Pro Math. I don't trust MMLU, but this is some other MMLU Pro. I don't know. Original MMLU is terrible benchmark. I explained has a great video about that. I think this is about, yeah, ARC benchmark. So this is one of the benchmarks where O1 preview just completely, it's on the same level as Sonnet 3.5. So they did increase a lot from GPT-4o. They are literally on the level of Claude 3.5 Sonnet. So ARC is this benchmark where you have to like, where you have to take something to be able to solve it. No, I'm just joking, or am I? I don't know. But like the benchmark is very like, you see like you have to. Is there some example somewhere? Yeah, like you have to. Yeah, this is fine. Like for example, this is one example. Like it's very simple for humans. Well, some of it not. Some of it is like crazy. It's like it's very symmetries, like kaleidoscopes, filling in parts of the kaleidoscopes. That's like very psychedelic, I would argue. But this is like good, and I like this benchmark. So this showed that it's limited. Yeah, and I wonder how much would AlphaZero like relative stochastics is chain of thought, which is what this model kind of is doing in one model apparently. What would happen if it was like fine-tuned on this benchmark? Would the performance go off the rails or not? I don't know. I wonder. Yeah, so yeah, this is not really benchmarks. So this is on the wrong place, but yeah, these are good stuff to read. I recommend that. I'm gonna put this down here. It's already here, whatever. So yeah, yeah, like if they release the full model, bro, that would like completely crash everything. You see the benchmarks on the internal OpenAI benchmark, or like what they benchmark themselves. Not ML is like, it's not internal, it's public benchmarks, but benchmarked by OpenAI. You can see like how O1 is like still 30 points ahead of O1 preview in ELO. Like it's a much bigger model, and the advantage of OpenAI having unthrottled internal access to O1 cannot be overstated, as Benjamin Decker says. So yeah. Yeah. How far can inference time compute go? New scaling glass. Bitter lesson makes a comeback. Leopold Ashford. His surname is crazy for me. Situational awareness was right. Leopold was right. Just look at the freaking line, bro. Look at the freaking line. Scaling works. It's kind of morphing into neural symbolics, because you're adding chain of thought, you're adding search, you're adding sampling, you're adding reward models on top, etc. etc. It's kind of morphing into neural symbolics, not just pure deep learning. Now it's not just a gigantic neural net, just transformers. It's like transformers plus some extra stuff. So we'll see what's gonna be the next step in that. Some planning, and it's much more coherent. Some people are saying that it's much more coherent long term. There's a benchmark for that. I don't remember the name at all. So, and I didn't see it evaluated on that. So, and also some agent benchmarks. I think I've seen actually some agent benchmark, and it was a bit better, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so those aren't benchmarks anymore. Yeah, and the fact that and this is something I think about. The fact that the new OpenAI O1 model, just preview for now, is still struggling to reason out of distribution, as seen on the simple bench. We haven't seen the simple bench yet. As seen on the ARX bench, as seen on the ARX benchmark, for example. I think it's called simple bench. Am I mentioning some other benchmark? So many benchmarks, Jesus. Yeah. I think I wanted to mention some other benchmark here. Yeah, mainly the ARX benchmarks, and so people were like still showing like it still cannot do like comparison of two integers. It still struggles. Even like sometimes it doesn't count the R's in Strawberry. That's probably a token skill issue, I think. It still struggles to like it still struggles like a man with a boat and a goes over the river. How can they come back efficiently or something like that? Like this famous riddle. I think it get better at this, but some variations still it like completely brittle and the reasoning collapses, quote unquote reasoning. I don't know. So yeah, still some limitations there. And yeah, he also showed like some examples. This guy, yeah, like I. Wait. This is a hypothesis? partial results. So he did. Okay, I misunderstood then because I really quickly skimmed it. I see. Okay. So yeah, simple bench exploded to 50%, but it's not apples to oranges comparison because yeah, and he says it's a step change. It's not just hype. Welcome to the O1 era. I agree with that. So it's not apples to apples comparison because different temperature, and I think you still need to give it like chain of thought, the other models or something like that. So yeah, still different, but that's a big step change. But it's not good. It's not the best bench yet. But I would argue it will go that far. And he showed like some examples. Right, he was testing it. Yeah, he did. So I thought he just tested it on a few and that's it because of frame limits or something like that. Yeah, so makes obvious mistakes. Calculation oopsies, non-human bites. Yeah, this is like some... When the cup is turned upside down, the dice will fall and land on the end of the cup, which is now the top. He very good backs against the gradual general. It's behavior that... You can read this. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, and you can watch the whole video. It's amazing. Yeah, so like it's still struggling on this, right? That's why I said simple bench. Makes me think that we will get much better AI models when we figure out more robust, either hard-coded or emergent first principles reasoning in hierarchies or graphs and so on. So kind of chain of thought is kind of a chain. Maybe a graph of thought would be better. I don't know. Instead of retrieving and synthesizing sometimes brittle, weakly generalizing reasoning program chunks from the training data stored in the latent space. Yeah. I think that's what it's kind of doing now. So maybe scale, maybe better training data, and other training hacks will cause the emergence general enough, robust enough, all-encompassing enough that the good enough reasoning engine will eventually emerge. And the current reasoning engine will phase shift into first principles reasoning metastable configurational weight. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, public narrative is shifting. Yeah. Public narrative, blah blah, some other like... Yeah, and also AI agent unexpectedly and successfully exploits a configuration bug in its environment as a path of least resistance during cyber attack capability evaluations. So I still think we will need like the mechanistic interpretive and reverse engineering research to be able to steer them properly, because this is... I don't know. It's in the training data, I would argue. Like, maybe. I think training data is the model. So... I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, and a couple of PRs were already authored by O1, so kind of recursive self-improvement, I think, already. Yeah, and Gwen apparently is building. So open source community will catch up very fast, maybe. If we know everything about the new model, maybe we don't. So... Yeah, so like some implementation details here. This GitHub repo emerged. Like, oops. Collection of research papers and blogs from OpenAI Strawberry reasoning. So, this repo will be continuously updated to track the frontier of LLM and reasoning. So for now, it's like mostly LLM Strawberry. Yeah. Now it's a focus on O1 and so on. What probably happened, so they're trying to like reverse engineer it. And yeah, leading to... So, bunch of papers from OpenAI. Yeah, chain of thought stuff, reinforcement learning stuff. People trying to reverse engineer it. Did he put it out? He did, or I haven't seen this yet. Yeah. Words. Yeah, RL. Online, offline test time search. I will read this later maybe. So you can look at all of that. Yeah, some stuff from OpenAI, Jason Wei and so on, Noam Brown. Some papers from OpenAI that were public before they went fully closed. It's like 2000. Okay, it's 1 year ago. Yeah, still though. This is a paper that people point to the most, I think. Chain of thought prompting, train verifiers, LLM critics, self-critiquing models, LLM search, compute optimal inference, compute optimal sampling, reward modeling stuff, mutual reasoning. Yeah, mutual reasoning, interesting. Maybe like multi-agent stuff, deliberative planning. Monte Carlo research is also a lot. Uncertainty of thought, that's interesting. Yeah, Quiet Star was also a paper that's been everywhere, and I also reposted it like 5 times. Imagination, searching, and criticizing. Revar guided research. Bootstrapping. Scalable online plannings. Yeah, and the original mastering chess and shogi by self-play with general reinforcement learning algorithm. Yeah, and some other stuff here probably. I could add it to the GitHub repo. Yeah. Maybe hardwire into architecture, chain of thought, test time compute, maybe looping of tokens through the layers multiple times, search, graph of thought, self-correction, etc. Yeah, lots of papers. I wanna go through them. Yeah, I played with my favorite prompts. I think I showed that in the last video. Jailbreak, yeah, Pliny jailbroke it basically instantly. No one's immune to Pliny. No one is immune. Liberitas. But I think we will need, like... I'm still so torn on the safety stuff. I think we need steering. But not completely, because like for some problems we want unbounded creativity for the models. As long as they don't cause some harm, right? It's ideal. And steering is also kind of dual use, like, you know, if some dictator gets a model that he can steer, I don't know, that might be an issue. O1 model looks amazing, but luckily there's a PhD level intelligence, so our jobs are safe now. Stochastic parrots can fly so high. The goalposts shall keep moving until the Kardashev skill improves. I had it in the previous video. That's like funny. It's not AGI. Is it AGI? No. Yeah, let's define AGI in so many ways. We're only beginning to understand new paradigm of chain of thought LLMs. I think this guy. Yeah, this is also another one that, like, O1 is a single model. O1 is able to generate very long responses while keeping coherence. No amount of prompt engineering can match O1's performance. O1 preview and O1 are of the same size. O1 mini dataset has much more STEM data than other models. This is also important. Citelus. I think I have it in here. Yeah, down here. And what are those two then? One developer, summary. Yeah, this guy also has some model. Quiet Star. Level 2 reasons are here, level 3 is agents. Yeah. It's been over 12 hours. Well, it's been over a few days since OpenAI announced O1 and still failed to solve Riemann hypothesis, quantum gravity, faster than light travel, PA equals NP, grand unified theory, and cure for cancer. So this backup, folks, like it's so over. It's like clearly shows that AI has hit a wall and OpenAI is about to go bankrupt, right? Yeah. Intelligence is thermodynamics, the holy war of nerds. Of course, Gary is like, nope. But it's still neurosymbolic, so props to you. But it's called reasoning only if it's from the brain region of Homo sapiens. Otherwise, it's just sparkling autoregression. Yeah, and like ML Street Talk guys also like had their like opinion, but that it's not reasoning. But they define reasoning interestingly. Like the one host says it must be Turing complete, in the sense it must have expandable memory, while the neural networks kind of don't have expandable memory. They're like fixed size at the beginning, cannot dynamically resize themselves, and must acquire. And the other one says that it must acquire and generate new knowledge. So acquiring new knowledge, still not there kind of by default. You can kind of put it to web and search it through web and so on, but like, I don't know, hypothesis testing, science testing, maybe. Yeah, like adding web, adding math engines and other symbolic engines. For physics would be like even more powerful. Yeah, so like what is the path? Like to AGI, like learn all human knowledge and reasoning patterns in distribution, like overfit the whole world. Overfit the whole world. With more modalities, which would that be like, since if you overfit everything, would that be already kind of AGI, because no single human possesses the sum of all human knowledge and reasoning patterns? Yeah, defining AGI is also like problematic. Karpathy, I think Karpathy had some post on that. Yeah. Highly autonomous system that outperforms humans at most economically valuable work. And some people say that, yeah, and then some work, and some people say that digital work. And if you overfit all the possible digital work, you have AGI? Maybe? If by this definition, because no single human possesses the sum of all human knowledge, so it's kind of more, it's like super intelligence and reasoning patterns that you can retrieve from. So for more superhuman reasoning performance, like more similar reinforcement learning methods like AlphaZero that require little or no zero human input via self-play, which the new OpenAI O1 model use partly via rework network, implement more graph of thought, iterative reasoning in both training and test time compute, synthetic data, automatic labeling, massive parallel training in simulations like NVIDIA, more scaling, more neurosymbolic approaches like AlphaProof. It will be compute, algorithms, and data, I think. All of them at the same time. And lots of scaling. Now we have a new scaling law. Algorithms, I guess we have a new neurosymbolic on top. Search and chain of thought stuff. And data, because the models are the data. Yeah. So like, and the model is already like a couple of PRs to the code base. Kind of, is that the definition of intelligence explosion basically already? What do you think? So we will see how far can test time compute go. So I guess this is it. Are we on the brink of intelligence explosion? So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like it. More deep dive, because why not? We'll see what happens the future if more models, like more AGI labs, like Grok, Llama, Gemini, Claude, Opus, all of them, if they will like came out. If like alpha proof and alpha code integrated in Gemini too, that would be like completely distraction of, maybe, I don't know, O1, because they have, like, Google have been working for test time compute for so long, like they have alpha code for so long. So it's not just OpenAI, maybe yes, maybe OpenAI has a mode. Is the mode in data? Is the mode in compute? Is the mode in not having the corporate bureaucracy? Is the mode in being so extremely correct? Like, is the mode in the employees? Campbell, I think this guy had very nice. I love this guy's like, is the mode in the employees? This is it like typical DeepMinder, distinguished cognitive science professor at Cambridge, typical OpenAI, Math Olympiad and Informatics Olympiad gold 10 years ago, typical anthropic, Ivy League effective altruist physics major on leave for those of stimulants. And typical XAIR, new graduate ML PhD offered NBA salaries plus allowance. Funny. So maybe that's the mode. How about typical safe super intelligencer SSI? That's like, I don't know. Everyone's from OpenAI kind of left OpenAI and went, well, yeah. I don't know, it's like a mix of OpenAI and Anthropic galaxy brains. And Anthropic top tier galaxy brains, including Ilya, of course, so. Yeah. Is that the mode? Where is the mode? Is the mode in compute, access to NVIDIA, access to data, access to algorithms, and so on, or knowledge of algorithms and so on? So yeah, we will see who will win this race. China also has a model, but I haven't heard much stuff. Like, I've seen just like some robotics stuff from China, right? So that's something, at least. So China has like some robots. LLMs they have, but we don't know anything about them, basically. Or at least the information doesn't get. Like, the benchmarks there exist. I've seen like some China LLM benchmark. And like the video generation models, those leak. There's like 10 text to video generation models where China is like outperforming. That's interesting. Though I'm the most focused on like the pure intelligence. So that's like what I care about the most right now. Yeah, so because I think that's gonna be like the most crucial. Like, once you solve intelligence, then you will solve everything. But I think you should do it safely. Like, DeepMind says, fundamentally solve intelligence and harness it to solve everything else. I think like that's the dream, but like solve it to make sure it benefits everyone, and to make sure everyone has the piece of the cake. Like this, like everyone, like not just rich elites, but like middle class, regular population. I think everyone should like benefit from the abundance that the technology generates, no matter what system you have. Can be capitalist techno machine, can be like something more top down, I don't know, more bottom up, more controlled, less controlled, different cultures, different economic regimes. As long as everyone benefits from it, ideally, then I'm up for it, basically. That's my value. That I wish that everyone benefits and everyone experiences the super flourishing, super intelligence, super well-being, super longevity, super understanding, super curiosity. So yeah, so that's my, I guess, last note. So we'll see who will win this race. Right now, OpenAI just made a comeback, apparently. I think this is very true. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed. I hope you like this. I hope you will enjoy more of my wits. Make sure to look at everything I just talked about, whatever. I hope AGI benefits all of you and everyone, and not cause any dystopias and catastrophes, but more like protopias, utopias, whatever. And like science and technology and maths and so on for everyone. So yeah, fixing longevity, immortality, maybe. Yes, don't die. Don't die. Future will be interesting. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for watching. May you be the most well possible.